Hi, everyone. My name is Tracee Dunblazier, and I'm a spiritual empath, shaman, and author. And I'm here today to talk to you about inflammatory language. Yes, these are the little words that creep in as descriptors of the situation as we see it. And they come up oftentimes in conversations when we feel we must defend ourselves or when we are angry and want to retaliate based on what somebody has said to us. Those are two of the most common ways that or reasons that people begin to use inflammatory language. Inflammatory language is used in the pursuit of an emotional power struggle. So if you are in a situation, you're having a conversation with your loved one or colleague or friend or, person at the grocery store or at the gas station, and you're not getting the result you want, or you're not getting the communication that you would like to have, often we create a power struggle that's emotional. We try to psych each other out in order to hope that one person becomes submissive and gives us the thing that we want or think we deserve or should have. And when we use inflammatory language, just to give you a little example, I was watching the news and saw POTUS today. Oh, this is a witch hunt, right? Anytime we talk about something and we make a reference to something completely different, that is the psychological and emotional way of putting that seed in your mind to get you to believe that his circumstance is the same as the witches in the 1600s and 1700s. So there's no comparison, none, right? But when that language is used, it's meant to incite a feeling in you. And for you to take that energy and put it out into the world, oftentimes on the behalf of the person who is acting or feeling victimized. So just as one example that came up today, we see 1,000 of them. My goal here is not to talk so much about what's going on politically, but we will see this more and more as we get to voting day. You're going to see more and more people use inflammatory language to incite your feelings and sway your ultimate choice. And make no mistake about it, the more bullies use inflammatory language, that seeps into the consciousness, our own emotional consciousness, and it does give us another filter that we relate to information with. And that's really important to realize, because you might not take it personally, but the more you hear what we call a narrative over and over and over and over again, it begins to be natural. And then what natural we begin to make true in our mind. So pay attention to that, because you don't want to do anybody else's bidding but your own. And make no mistake about it, you've got a choice about your own victimhood. Are you a victim or aren't you a victim? Because at the end of the day, from a spiritual perspective, you must choose one master and go with it. You must choose one overriding thought and belief and philosophy, and then follow it through with your emotions, thoughts, and actions. And you do have a choice ultimately. And I'm not talking about being victimized like crime and criminals. I'm talking about how you perceive your power in the world. That is something that you get to choose. Doesn't matter what other people think about you or how other people feel about you. It matters how you feel about you and how you enact that in the world. And that literally will shift how people relate to you, consciously or unconsciously. They may come in not liking you, but because you are so confident and you have the aura that, I'm good, I'm love, and I am magnificent, they're going to naturally rise to that occasion and begin to believe that about you, whether or not they know it. So anyway, so inflammatory language. This is language, again, that's meant to inflame emotions and do emotional damage. Isn't that interesting? So when we do it, it is usually because we are defending ourselves and we want it to repel somebody's energy or response to us. We want to make them go away so we don't have to be as uncomfortable, right? In the confrontation, whenever the confrontation is. Or we do it in retaliation. And oftentimes, there's in one of my previous books, the Heal Your Soul History, I talk a lot about what I call the medicine ball experience, when someone throws a big load of energy at you. You are this, you are that, you never this, I always this, right? Anytime you have those types of irrefutable statements, that is sending a line of energy that you can take or not take. But oftentimes, if we're dealing with someone we love or someone who we're romantically involved with or someone we want to nurture a relationship with, we often are more inclined to receive that energy and then hold on to it, and then oftentimes not know what to do with it. So I call that the medicine ball. So somebody throws a ball to you, you catch it, and then you throw it back. And this is done verbally, emotionally, energetically. One of the other really, really great examples of inflammatory language, and we hear it a ton, is calling someone crazy, the word crazy. Now, I know we see it a lot in memes and stuff, and we mean to make it funny. I'm on that. I mean, I feel like I've earned the right to use that inflammatory language. But I think that's kind of the point. I mean, oftentimes we use inflammatory language because we feel like we've earned the right. So the word crazy is something that I've found myself using, and then I have to go, oh, wait, is that what I mean? Is that what I want to put out there? Is that going to bring me back what I would like, the joy and the peace that I would like in the world? So using the word of crazy and using the word drama. Oh my God, all his drama. He's just filled with drama. I know in a couple of these videos I've repeated over and over again. I want to read this little section to you from my new book, Conquer Your Karmic Relationships, Heal Your Spiritual Trauma to Open Your Heart and Restore Your Soul. It's out in August, and you can buy it on pre-sale now anywhere they sell books. But I want to read to you, anytime two people are in an interaction, and let's say they're having a difference of opinion, and let's say one person really believes one thing and another person really believes another thing, and they're trying to find their common ground. Oftentimes, it's really difficult when you're in a position to think you knew what something was or how it was, and then someone's trying to re-educate you that no, it's not really that way, or at least it's not that way for everyone. And the person on the learning end of it often, especially when we've thought we already knew everything about a particular topic, we naturally have feelings of guilt, shame, embarrassment, and humiliation. This is a spiritual and emotional indication that the new information is accurate and confirms that a change of thought is necessary. It lets us know that a change of thought is necessary on our part. The more uncomfortable we are, the more we want to resist what someone is saying. It's evidence that you're needing to think a new way. It may not be exactly the way that somebody's speaking to you, but it's definitely letting you know, your consciousness, your spirit is letting you know that, hey, I need to expand my horizons on this particular topic, or at least in the way I'm thinking about or my experience here. So, however, often when we are having these exchanges, we can be prone to using inflammatory language as a subtle power play. Inflammatory language is a power play, no matter how you slice it. Sometimes when we use descriptors like, judgmental, you're being judgmental. Oh, your opinion is so ridiculous, right? You're being stupid, ridiculous, asinine. I know y'all out there can think of so many more because there are so many that they slide in, they just sneak right into our conversations, and we may not feel right about it, and sometimes we send a little seed of bad feeling to someone, and they may not feel right about it, but we can't really discern exactly what it is, and it could be something as small as using some form of inflammatory language, and I want to say it this way: inflammatory language is not rational to the situation, right? When somebody, if you're calling your opinion is ridiculous, well, nobody's opinion is ridiculous. It may not be accurate. It may not be workable. There may be no common ground between you and their opinion. All of those are truthful. Look, I hear what you're saying, but I don't believe it, and I can't prescribe to it, and I can't even negotiate with it. Okay, right? There you go. Now you've come, your common ground is that there is no common ground. But to call someone stupid, ridiculous, asinine, or many other, thousands of adjectives that you can throw in there, that's using inflammatory language because you are trying to use up all of this energy and emotion, your own consciousness that's telling you that you need a change. Isn't that interesting? All of this energy drums up. It gets our fight or flight energy, our adrenaline going, because our consciousness is calling upon a change that we do not yet consciously know, and so we don't know where it will go, and it inspires unconscious fear. Change oftentimes inspires unconscious fear. So I just want to say hello to everybody. I'm going to take this opportunity to read a few of the comments that are here. Okay. Yes, some of my Sad is talking about dodgeball. That's exactly what it is. Here's the thing. You can never, when you give somebody back to you, when you give somebody back what they've given to you in a harsh fashion, you are only perpetuating the motion. It's okay to say things like, gosh, if someone says to you, your opinion is so ridiculous. Well, no, it's not. My opinion is valid and it's valuable to me. What I'm hearing from you is that you don't believe it or understand it. And that's okay. I don't need you to. I don't need you to do that. Right? But when you engage in the back and forth of the medicine ball, that's all it's going to be, is getting nailed harshly, one thing after another after another. Another form of inflammatory language, and this is a big one, and it's slut shaming, fat shaming, any other kind of shaming, making fun of people for things that they cannot or do not want to change, like their condition, their health, weight, their ability to communicate, whatever is going on with someone. When we make fun of them or shame them for doing or having or being that way, that's another form of inflammation. It's another power struggle that people do to make themselves feel better. Oftentimes people don't set out to do that. They don't know. Usually the people that use a lot of inflammatory language, they don't know that they're really trying to make themselves feel better in the situation. Sometimes if you are haggling over something, a price or a negotiation for a job or whatever, or you're in a conversation with your boss or a colleague or whatever, all of those things, oftentimes when we want to get our way, we seek to inflame the language so as to have it be a subtle level of intimidation that just leaves everyone uncomfortable and off balance, off guard. So I want you to consider those things. Hi, Debbie. I want you to consider those things when you consider how you want to talk to people, whether or not you value them. It's very interesting. I was about to say, when you value somebody, think about how you talk to them. Well, no, value yourself by valuing everyone and not participating in inflammatory language. The other thing that I want to bring up is oftentimes a spiritual way to talk about inflammatory language is a spiritual construct. A spiritual construct is an energy, a shard. You've heard them: arrows, shards, knives. God, she really threw some you could see those daggers coming from her. She was so mad at me. Right? So energetically, there is a quality to the language that you use, and it will go directly to someone. It's a bit of your spirit you send out, and if it gets lodged in somebody, it sticks with them. Now, they can either not accept it or deal with it in their own way. But the truth is, when you send out that energy, those shards of glass emotionally, those daggers with your inflammatory language, when you do that, you are sending a part of yourself out, and you're letting it stick with someone that you're not caring for. So they're walking around with a piece of you. Hopefully, again, when we have an exchange like that, it's a 50-50. It takes both people to participate. You can't have, it's not just one person's fault. It's both people coming together and rising to that occasion. Right? And so when you can be accountable to rise to that occasion or not indulge it, not make it personal to you, really recognize that a person is coming to you because they want something, or they're angry with you because you didn't do things how they needed you to do them or wanted you to do them, or whatever the argument is. You have the responsibility to decide how you're going to interact with that. And you can take on the energy or the spiritual construct or not. And the only way really to not take it on is to be accountable up front. Hey, I'm sorry. You asked me to load the dishwasher with the knives down, and I put the knives up because that's been my habit for all of these years. And so frankly, you're right. I didn't do it your way. And from now on, I won't be doing it your way. But we can do this. You can do the dishwasher, or I can do the dishwasher. However, if I'll do it my way, you do it your way. Whatever the negotiation is. And make no mistake about it, these little interactions happen the most over incredibly mundane things. Simple, mundane things, because people are looking, right now, people have so much energy on them and so much grief and frustration and, instability, because we don't have a clear understanding of how we know things are changing, and we don't know what the normal is going to be in that. And that can be really hard for a lot of people. Okay. So everybody's got a lot of this pent up stuff going on. And when they do, it's really valuable for you to be accountable for you and what you need and what you want, and be truthful about it and firm about it. Again, when somebody's using inflammatory language, they're seeking to negotiate on a subliminal level. Mentally, emotionally, they're trying to bully the situation to get what they want. So you have the power in that situation to either consciously offer them what they're seeking, or say, I hear you, but no, I'm sticking with my original thought. So let me see. So Debbie says that she reloads the dishwasher. No, and especially right now, people have been cooped up. I mean, I know we've had a little more outside time and a little more sense of personal freedom, that it's less dangerous to go out. I mean, that's changed a lot in the last week and a half, but I think that those subtle ways, those subtle living habits that cause the biggest conflict in times of cultural trauma, which this is one of them on many levels, not only the pandemic, not only the transformation of our social justice issues, and our political system and the planet, right? All of those things are in complete and total transformation right now. And everybody has got to do their part for themselves to choose peace over conflict. So that's what I have for you today. And I'm so glad that everybody could be here with me to chat about it. That's funny. Somebody used the word imbecile. That's a good one. Yes. I'm trying to, my grandmother was born, she was born in 1905. She's no longer with us. But she was born in 1905, and that was, I don't know why you'd want to do that. That's stupid. About everything. And, it was hurtful at the beginning as a child to hear something like that. And then it became, it's become the theme that makes me laugh, because it's so in your face and so inappropriate. Anyway, so, yes, that's it. Sat makes a really great point. Every time we deal with one of those, we take on a spiritual construct, an energy construct from somebody, or they take one from us, those load up. And that's how we begin to have anxiety attacks and chronic anxiety and extreme grief and extreme depression. So make no mistake about it. If you are a person, it's been interesting. I did a healing with someone the other day, and literally the healing was about releasing all of those little shards of energy, those spiritual constructs, those energy constructs she had received her entire life from friends, family, the outside world. It was all based on her belief. So, but there were thousands of them, right? If you can imagine that, let's say you got a freckle for every time somebody said something to you harshly that made you feel just a little worse, right? And now all of a sudden, how many freckles do you have? You could have thousands upon thousands of them. Right. And that's what turns into illness. That's what turns into our disabilities. That energetically can turn into an accident, different forms of releasing energy. So anyway, I just want you to contemplate that when you talk to someone, you are an amazing negotiator. If you can come from the heart, be clear and be firm. Be clear and be firm. Yes, I want this. Yes, I want this. No, I don't want that. And I won't do that. Right? You give somebody the best gift they can possibly receive when you give them your truthfulness, your clarity, and your firmness. When you set boundaries. Okay? Inflammatory language is used to usurp a boundary that's been set. And all that means is you have to come back and set it again, firmer, stronger, clearer, and less emotional. Understand that people who use inflammatory language, they feed off of your emotional reaction to their harshness. So that's what I got for you folk today. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. It's been lovely to spend a little time with you. And yeah. I hope that you have a magnificent weekend, and be good. Be good to yourself and be good to others.